being perfect, is not about that scoreboard out there. It's not about winning. It's about you and your relationship to yourself and your family and your friends.
Hey, fans, friends, family. Welcome to the C.O.C. City of the Champions podcast. This is basically NBA playoff editions. I'm your host, DannyBoyLax, alongside with my co-host, Talar. Talar's my sidekick. So let's get into the NBA playoffs. It is the second round. The NBA playoffs has officially started. April, May, June. Excited. It's playoff season. Playoff season's here. Sports. Excited. So let's get into it, Talar. So let's start off with, the first round. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Boston Celtics because that's our town, City of the Champions. Let's get into the first round of the Celtics. The Celtics played the Chicago Bulls. What did you think of that series?
Well, Danny, it was a very it was an interesting series for Boston. I mean, you give Isaiah Thomas and his whole thing, and then the team, I guess, a referee told the team in Game 6, hey, if you guys just play basketball, you're going to win. Don't worry about all the nonsense going on. It was probably actually a really good test for the team because, I mean, let's face it, they're playing like garbage. And then, they learned how to rebound a little better, and then they learned, what good basketball is as a team. And it was probably much better that they went through 2-0 and came back than for them to be just sweeping someone.
Yeah, it was, it was definitely tough for that that first game. Obviously, it was a tough time for Isaiah Thomas's family. Lost his sister that Saturday afternoon, but it was just one of those fluke games, I believe. And they came back and they it was like they swept them. It was like that wasn't a game. The first game, Isaiah Thomas was on a roll. Talented guy, talented short guy for a basketball player. He's very talented. I'll say that. But and they were in first place throughout the season. So your Celtics are definitely looking good. Like I said, I told you I would follow the Celtics in the playoffs, and I took your word for it. So what do you think Brad Stevens' mentality is for this team?
Just to be better every game. I mean, the guy is, the Celtics go win by 30 points, and he'll come back in a press conference and be like, we didn't do this well enough. It's like, bro, I get it, but, they won by 30. But, yeah, I mean, the mentality, I think, for him is to do as well as they can, all the little stuff, and then you build off of that each game or each season, and that's how you become better as a unit.
I totally agree with you. I think they're better as a unit. Tough. Like I said, tough first game. Obviously, they made it to the second round. They're playing the Washington Wizards right now. They won their first two games. I watched the game last night. It was sad to watch. Tough game. It didn't seem like they were into it. I don't know if you saw that fight between Kelly and Kelly last night. That was, of course, the two Kellys. I do not like Kelly Olynyk.
I don't either. You're good.
I think he should be off this team. He's just a big waste of space, and it just sucks. Excuse my language, but I can't stand the guy. Canadian 6 foot tall. I don't know. I just can't stand him.
7 foot tall.
7 foot tall Canadian guy, and ugly dude too. I don't mean to be, judgmental here, but it's just oh my god.
Yeah.
Seriously. A fight, like a little bickering going on. Oh man.
I mean, it's nuts. You could tell regular season they didn't like each other. I kind of expected them to lose by a lot yesterday. Going into that, they lost both times they were in D.C. this year. They lost by double digits, like it was expected. Plus, Washington needed to win a game, or else they're totally, they're done for the year. But the Kelly Oubre hit on Kelly Olynyk was just like, oh man, that's losing your grip on your emotions at that point, and that's something you should.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I get it though. Kelly Olynyk is like, you'll watch him during the season and you want to just like throw something at your TV. I don't like the guy either. he'll be off this team by next season.
You
There's
think
no
that
way.
you think they're gonna make some changes this offseason?
Well, you've got two guys coming over from Europe, and one of them, Zizic, is basically an Olynyk in height and skill, but he's reportedly much better. You had that Yabusele kid coming in from Europe, who's like your, mid first round pick, who's also like very good, like a 6'9", 6'10" type guy. And they're more promising. They've played in actual, European leagues compared to this guy. And his inconsistency is going to be his downfall with this team.
I totally agree. I totally agree with you. So for last night's game, what do you think this team has to do? Obviously, Isaiah Thomas wasn't what he was Tuesday night. Tuesday night, he was on fire. He was on fire.
What a performance.
Points after points. What did he score? Like 40
53.
53 points?
53 points.
53 points. Oh, my God. And I think it was like he was like the shortest guy to make 53 points in a playoff series, I think. Wow. Oh, my God. Wow. That fascinated me. And I don't watch basketball that much. You can tell that. You can tell that I don't watch basketball.
You're the hockey guy. It's fine. But yeah. I mean the guy is, ever since he came to Boston, he's defied everything, every expectation. He's done things he's not supposed to be doing. He's not supposed to be this good, but he is this good. I think for as far as Sunday night's game goes against Washington, he came out and said, I'm not going to play like that again. I'm going to have a much better game. What do you have to do? You have to run the offense through Al Horford instead of Isaiah because they're double teaming him, triple teaming him, and Al Horford's a really good passer. I think Brad's going to do that. He might run the offense through Al Horford to get Isaiah Thomas some early open shots, get him going, and then, set the tone for the game. But everyone else has to play better. Marcus Smart had 8 turnovers last night.
I think they were on Isaiah last night because of the night before. I think they just covered him like no tomorrow. But in honesty, like it was like 50 to like 70. Like they were down like 30 points at least in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah.
And it was tough. It was tough to watch. I watched the whole thing too, and I just I don't know. I thought they would come back like they did Tuesday night because they were sloppy in the first 2 quarters, I believe, Tuesday night, and they came back in the second half. Oh my God! And overtime basketball is always exciting. Any overtime sporting event is exciting because get a little more of it, and it's never a bad thing. And I thought, wow, I feel like this team is gonna go the next round even further. I think this team's a talented team.
I think they need to take care of business in Washington. The thing about Washington that everyone needs to be aware of is that there's the Washington Wizards that are away and the Washington Wizards that are the home team. And the Washington Wizards that play at home are completely different. When they play away, their bench just doesn't perform. They're not nearly as effective. And it's an advantage to Boston because Boston has home court, but they do have to win Sunday's game. Put a step on their necks. You have them, you're 2 games to 1, step on their necks, make sure they can't, do any more damage to you.
Now, you're the basketball expert here. Who is the leading scorer for the Washington Wizards? I looked at the stats today.
I mean, gotta be John Wall, right?
John Wall?
John Wall, when Isaiah had 53, John Wall had 40 in that same game. The dude is underrated. He's really good, but the problem is he doesn't have that much help. When they're in Boston, he has, no help. Bradley Beal, yeah, he's good. He's their second leading scorer. And then everyone else, after him and Beal, it just falls to, guys who score 12 or 10 points a game. That's not enough.
I did see, besides Kelly and Kelly fighting, I did see some other 2 going at it last night, too.
I
quickly caught the names, but I totally forgot.
So Terry Rozier and Brandon Jennings. Brandon Jennings got in his head and whatever. And, Brandon Jennings is a punk.
Punk?
Come on, man. He came out and said Paul Pierce doesn't deserve, a victory tour because he only won 1 title. You don't even have, you don't even have a ring. You stop talking.
You're right. To be honest, if you don't have a title, you should not be talking. Sit down, play some basketball, and earn that title. If you have that title, you can say that. But other than that, shut up.
Be humble, sit down.
Just shut up. Enjoy the game. You make You make millions.
So much. And, that was a weirdly officiated game as far as technicals. There were technicals tossed around everywhere. You had the Oubre ejection. You had, Rozier and Jennings got technicals. Brad Stevens got a technical last night, which is...
I did see that. I saw that.
That's a testament to how ridiculous of a game this was. If you know anything about Brad Stevens, guys, Brad Stevens doesn't get technical fouls. Ever. That's just not something that happens. So the fact that happened is just... It's remarkable. But he was really ticked off at the officiating last night.
I did see that. And like, I ever since watching this series, I haven't seen that much, and that was just surprising to me. But I guess it happens, pretty often. Same thing with other sports and all that. But the technical, I thought that was a little uncalled for. But I don't know basketball as much as you do, so it's pretty amazing what I know so far in this podcast. I'll be honest, I'm pretty proud of myself right now.
Good work.
So. Have you paid attention to the other series in the NBAs?
I have watched them. I have paid attention to them, and I'll give you a quick run through of them. So Cleveland is tossing around Toronto like no one's business. LeBron had the audacity to stand at the 3-point line the other day. Did you see it? And do his little free throw routine while he's standing there, and then drill a three in Toronto's face.
What's up with this going to a fan and grabbing the beer? I thought.
Did you see that? And then the beer company tried to use it to advertise, and he goes, "Oh, I'm going to sue you." It's like, but you took the beer, man. That's just smart marketing by them to try to use that for an ad.
Don't get me started with LeBron James.
We'll hold off on the LeBron rant till a little later.
Whoa.
Just a little bit.
I hate him. I do not like LeBron James. It just gives me the jitters. My sister-in-law likes LeBron James, and I just can't stand it. I cannot stand him. He is a baby. And I just can't. He's the biggest baby. He's just the biggest baby in social media in the NBA. I hate it. Just mind your own business and play basketball. Yeah. Seriously.
I mean, aside from that series, so let's just run through this real quick. Golden State leads Utah 2-0. I fully expect them to either win in 4 or 5. I mean, they're head and shoulders above everybody in this league. San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio plays tonight in Houston. No Tony Parker, torn quad muscle, out for the rest of the playoffs, out for the season. That's a good one. That could go 7. Maybe. It depends what the impact is. And I think that's what we have right now. But as far as LeBron, I'm just going to quickly say the comparisons. Like, I saw a Twitter post the other day that was like, let's take a minute and recognize LeBron is now the greatest player to ever play the game. And it's like, no. If you watch Michael play, Michael got tossed around like a toy. Like, he was thrown on the ground and, like,
talking
hit.
Michael as in the Michael Jordan?
The Michael Jordan.
No, it's funny. I watched Space Jam today.
Oh, it's a good movie. It's the best movie.
That is the best movie. Man.
You got the song stuck in my head now. Everybody.
Yeah. I actually want one of those Toon Squad jerseys.
I've thought about buying it.
That is pretty swag. That's swag status right there.
That is the best.
Add it to my collection of jerseys here.
Got some Steph Curry behind me. If you
Steph
can't
Curry.
see it. Legit Steph Curry behind me.
We got Larry Bird here. We got the GOAT Tom Brady here. And we got an old school Bruins that was played in the Happy Gilmore film.
We also have a Ken Griffey Jr. shirt.
Oh, yeah. I forgot
right behind him.
I forgot about that Ken Griffey. Got a Ken Griffey Jr. And then I got, Charlie Conway upstairs.
Got the jersey front covered.
Yeah. But it wouldn't be bad to add to the collection.
Never.
Speaking of Steph Curry, what do you think of Steph Curry so far?
I love Steph Curry.
People have been telling me, you joined the bandwagon, Dan. Bandwagon, Dan. He's a talented player.
Listen, man, I have loved Steph Curry since his first MVP. The dude is so much fun to watch, and he is just, you can hate me for liking the guy, but he is so much fun to watch. That team is fun to watch. But just in general, that team is fun to watch. I love the Golden State Warriors. I know people are like, they're the enemy, dude. I hate Cleveland. I hate Cleveland.
I hate Cleveland, and I hated Miami when LeBron James was on Miami. I hated it. I can't stand the guy. I can't stand the guy. When he had that eye injury, and he had those what is it, the protection eyewear.
He had like the goggles on.
So he goes, this is bothering me. So just throws in the middle of the course. That's just what bothers me about the guy.
Like, be better. He's
it's terrible.
He's like a marshmallow as far as I'm concerned. As far as, oh, I didn't get this call. Stop running your mouth and get to the other end of the court and play defense. Like, he's yapping at the officials like half the time in an NBA game.
And you see him on social media, just like going at it too. I mean, I can't.
This season's been weirder than any other season, social media for him.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
he's been blowing up the social media this season. I see it. I see it on Bleacher Report. I see it on Barstool. I see it everywhere. I see it on. I don't know if I haven't really read Sports Illustrated that much, but I see it on Bleacher Report and I see it on Barstool because that's what I mostly catch my news.
Yeah, he's never liked this, and for some reason this season he's decided to just go after people, and it's like, this is something like internally happening that like you're going after people when you've never in your 13 prior years done that, and in your 14th season all of a sudden you're just like, forget it, I'm just gonna start, bashing people. I don't know if he's just a bit fed up and he's just like, what do I have to lose at this point?
I don't know. I just feel like, I'm a champion and all that. I just feel like he can say whatever he wants. And speaking of LeBron James, they are playing right now as we speak. They're tipping off.
Right, there's tip-off.
Yep, there is tip-off right there.
Toronto has possession. And who do you think wins this game, Danny?
I want Toronto, but I honestly think Cleveland's going to go in the next round. They're just talented, and what's going to happen. And what would be awesome? Celtics, Cleveland, shut LeBron James up, go home, get your golf clubs out, and done with the season. I would love to see that. And
pull an upset. Huge upset. I mean,
exactly.
You've just hit the mark of every Celtics fan's dream right there. Like, for this season, it's like, how cool would it be? We have to get through Washington first, but all I think anyone who really wants...
I honestly think we had a fluke last night. I just think that wasn't the team we usually watch. That's not our Celtics. So let's step it up and get this next one. Yeah. And they're playing tomorrow night, I believe, right?
They're playing Sunday, 6:30.
Sunday. Okay. All right. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I think that like anyone really wants in the East is a team to just challenge Cleveland. Like, someone just give them a hard time. Just someone push them to 7. Give them a really, really tight series. No one's been able to do that in 2 years, and it's annoying a lot of NBA fans, including myself, because it's like, it's like a cakewalk. Make them work for it.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, we mentioned Golden State. We mentioned the Celtics. Isaiah Thomas. Brad Stevens. We brought up Houston and San Antonio, but let's get into more of it. I know you probably pay attention more than me, but I know I think it's Houston leading the series. Is it?
So it's a 1-1 series.
Oh sorry, it's a tied series.
It's a tied series. Game 3 tonight, and for the record, I will state I love Kawhi Leonard a lot, and he's one of the top two-way players in the game, if not the best two-way player in the game. He is, they lost Tony Parker. It's a big deal. As long as San Antonio has Kawhi Leonard, you have to give him a chance to win. It's like saying as long as Cleveland has LeBron. And I know, like, LeBron is light years ahead of everyone, but Kawhi is so, so good. MVP candidate, finals MVP. He has a title already. LaMarcus Aldridge has to play better in that series. And I would love Golden State Spurs Western Conference Final. That'd be really cool.
You would?
I would. I like San Antonio to begin with. As one of my other favorite teams in the league. I don't really care for James Harden that much.
No. Besides Celtics, I do like Golden State. I cannot stand Cleveland. I don't know who else, because apparently I'm on a bandwagon Talar, I guess.
You're fine. Well, the Spurs remind me of our Patriots because the whole organization is run like that, as far as the coach is a certain way, the draft picks are they don't do anything outlandish. There's nothing crazy about the organization. They're very do your job type.
Yeah, exactly.
You start to
mind
like
your own
that.
business, do your thing.
Exactly.
make it to the playoffs, make it to the Super Bowl. Yeah, you know.
Yeah. It's just a one game at a time approach. I have a lot of respect for Packers do kind of the same thing.
The Green Bay Packers?
Green Bay Packers, as far as, you know.
Any team, I agree with. But I don't mind the Green Bay Packers. Not my first choice. But obviously I'm a New Englander.
Of course.
The GOAT, greatest of all time, Tom Brady. No, I told you millions and millions of times, I would love if the Knicks could get their organization back on its feet, be winners again. I think they were great in, like, what, the 70s? The 80s or the 70s? They were great. They were great back then.
They won a title in the 70s, pretty sure. And then they were really good in the 90s with Patrick Ewing and everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, when I was watching Space Jam today, you know, when Charles Barkley gets his talent taken away, he's playing the Knicks. And, they were a great team back then.
They were good, but I mean, who'd you have in the 90s? You had Reggie Miller, that was always in their way as far as Indiana. And then you had to go through Michael Jordan. And, when...
Who doesn't love Michael Jordan, though?
Dude, I love Michael Jordan. Awesome.
Who doesn't love the GOAT of NBA basketball?
Well, unfortunately, a lot of, kids these days... people who are in high school now or middle school see Michael Jordan as that crying meme instead of, dunking all over people. Just sad.
Watch, you kids in middle school and high school, watch highlight videos. Go on YouTube. Watch documentaries on Michael Jordan. He was the greatest. Don't compare Michael Jordan to LeBron James because it is not
comparison.
Even close. Not even close. Get me going on that. Get me going on that. I don't care who you are. It's not a close match up there. Do not get me started. Michael Jordan was great back in his prime. He flew. He believed he could fly. Get it? He believed he could fly. He flew. He went all the way, and he came back to the NBA, and he was a great guy.
Greatest.
And he has his own shoe line and clothing line. What? Swag. That is swag right there. There's awesome. Nothing compared. And also, when I was talking about the Knicks, the Celtics were great back in the 70s too.
Celtics were great we're talking 50s, 60s, 70s.
Oh yeah. Larry Bird area.
80s.
80s. Yeah. Exactly.
And then from the 90s to 2008, it just. You had a little run in 2003 in the Eastern Conference Final, but they fell short to New Jersey. The Celtics had really bad luck. I mean, they drafted Len Bias in 86, and he does cocaine and dies. Don't do cocaine, kids. Bad for you. And then Reggie Lewis, just collapses on the court and passes away, because of his heart. Those are things you can't, make up for.
No. And, my dad even said he had the Celtics on the other night. I think it was either last night or the Tuesday night. One of the nights. He had the Celtics on both nights. But he was saying, Dan, I just, I don't watch the Celtics like I used to. Like, they were great back then, and that's when I watched the Celtics. And I was like, I know. I go, Dad, I know. I understand. I'm not, I don't not pay attention. My buddy Zach Thomas, I think his father shares a season ticket holder with his uncle or something like that, and he goes to all the games. He's a hardcore Celtics fan, and I wouldn't say I gave him shit for it, but I didn't give him a hard time out loud, but when this team was building back in 2010, 2011, 2012, 13, even 14 and 15, it was a building team, You got rid of Doc Rivers, and you got Brad Stevens, and you're building a new team, making it stronger, and look where we are today. We're in the playoffs, second round.
We're in the playoffs, second round. You could get to the Eastern Conference Final if you play good basketball. This is technically considered a rebuilding year. That's Boston. You have shot at the number 1 overall pick. You can trade for a Jimmy Butler or Paul George. Just You can sign a max agent. You have guys coming over. There is so many options for this team. This is not nearly the finished product. And think about it. You're not near the finished product, and look what Brad Stevens has been able to do with these guys.
He's doing great.
He's doing great.
I'm not an expert, but I think he's doing great for how many seasons has he been with us?
3.
3 seasons?
3 seasons.
I feel like he's been doing a great job.
4 maybe? I'm not
4 season?
3 or 4.
I could go with 4, but I feel like it was my super senior year when he became head coach, but of college, not high school. But I just think he's doing great. I was just like, when I heard Doc Rivers was going, I was like,
yeah,
another rebuilding couple of years. I honestly hate those, and it's going like that with the Bruins. They got rid of Claude Julien.
Bruce Cassidy.
Brought in Bruce Cassidy. Bruce Cassidy surprised me, by the way.
Great effort as coach.
And he stepped up, and it was interesting hockey throughout the second half of the season. We made the first round of the playoffs. Sadly, we lost to Ottawa. It was a sad day, and I just can't stand, especially Ottawa. I can't stand losing to that. But this is great. Like, we still have a chance here for Boston. Like I said, we're City of the Champions.
So
like our podcast.
Of course. I mean, think about it this way. You have Celtics went through a rebuild. The Bruins are going to go through, they're going to keep building. They have Charlie McAvoy, definitely impressed me. Bruce Cassidy.
Chubby Charlie. Me and Mike Lombardi call him Chubby Charlie. Mike Lombardi joined the Facebook Live, yeah. What's up, Mike?
Bruce Cassidy has made me excited to watch Bruins hockey again because they play so exciting,
Yeah.
So they're going through all this. The Red Sox are, I don't ever pay attention to them, but
Red Sox.
They're going through.
I'll be honest. They're not bad so far this season. They're not. I mean, it's tough without David Ortiz, Big Papi, but
But I mean, think about all that, and the Patriots have stayed consistently good. That's so hard to do.
No, everyone hates everyone hates on the Patriots.
Hate away.
Just hate.
Do it.
I don't care. Do it. If I go to Orlando and I'm wearing Patriots, I don't know.
I was in LA a few years ago and I wore a Patriots Super Bowl shirt and it had all 4 championships on it. And some lady yelled cheater in my face and I was like, okay, come on, bring it on.
Don't get me the Fire God L sweatshirt. Don't get me the Fire God L sweatshirt.
But
what, 7? Tom Brady has 7 rings?
He should have 7 rings.
I think he has 7 rings, right?
He should have 7 rings.
But you can't get much better than that. Better than Joe Montana officially.
Greatest of all time. Like, it's hands down.
I'll be honest, Talar, we are Boston, New England is spoiled.
Extremely spoiled.
We are spoiled. And I am so blessed to be born in this generation right now. I witnessed history in the making. I witnessed the Red Sox. What did we win? 3 World Series?
3 World Series.
3 World Series.
1 Stanley Cup.
1 Stanley Cup.
1 NBA title.
And what? 5 Super Bowls? 5 Super Bowls? You can't get better than that.
It's 10 titles.
You can't get better than that. That is like I'll be honest, I'm going to be buried a happy man. I'll
give everyone perspective. I'm 23 and I've witnessed 10 championships in my life. That is unbelievable.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, think about all these places that don't even have pro sports teams, or think about Cleveland just won its first title since like 1964 or something, and the place went nuts. And I was staring at
Chicago
my TV,
too. Chicago Cubs.
Chicago Cubs 100 and what was it? 6 years?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. New York, for being everything it is, aside from the Giants, if you're a Jets fan, you're not a Giants fan, you haven't seen the title in a very long time. Knicks aren't winning anything. With the Islanders, Rangers.
I feel bad. I did like the Knicks back then. I feel bad.
I feel bad for Carmelo, but
Carmelo Anthony, he's a good player too. I don't know. You said you told me the owner's a hater.
The president and GM is a hater.
Really?
He wants to push him out, and it's just unacceptable.
Did you see Larry Bird step down?
Could have given us Paul George before you left, but that's fine, I guess.
Fun fact, I didn't even know Larry Bird was the president of, what is it?
Indiana Pacers.
The Pacers, yeah. I didn't even know that. What's up with that?
I mean, he wanted to. He's such a strong Indiana guy. He's from French Lick, Indiana. He probably, if he had the option when he was a player, would have gone to the Pacers. He loves everything about Indiana. So for him to be Pacers president, he used to be their coach back in the day. It's not crazy. It's not outlandish, but he could have helped out Danny Ainge, given us his star player, and then left.
I'm surprised he wasn't like a Celtic. I don't know. I don't know much about Larry Bird. I just know he was great back in the 70s. He was great.
70s,
I watched
80s.
highlights videos.
Crazy. The dude's nuts. But we can jump. Let's talk Stanley Cup playoffs.
All right, Stanley Cup playoffs. So it is still the second round in the Stanley Cup playoffs. So Ottawa is playing New York Rangers. I think the series is tied 2-2 right now. Edmonton Oilers playing the Anaheim Ducks. I might have spelled that wrong. I think the series is tied as well. And Nashville leads the St. Louis Blues. That's surprising.
That is, I don't even pay attention to hockey that much, but wow.
Pittsburgh leads the Washington Capitals. Yes, that is great. That is great. I am so pumped that the Pittsburgh Penguins are leading the Washington Capitals because the Washington Capitals, I cannot stand Alex Ovechkin, biggest baby on the
in the NHL.
I don't like him at all. I think he's a puck hog. He can stare me down, treat me wrong. But I saw that Sidney Crosby is recently injured. Sadly, that Sidney Crosby, the star of the Pittsburgh Penguins, is injured right now. I'm not sure if he's playing for the rest of the playoffs. We'll see what happens throughout the playoff season. I'll personally say that I want New York Rangers to kick the Ottawa Senators. I do not want to see Ottawa Senators in the
Conference finals, and it's just I don't know. Edmonton Oilers.
So the thing with the Edmonton Oilers is that I like the Ducks, but the Edmonton Oilers are a young team. They got the star Connor McDavid. I would like to see the Edmonton Oilers go in the final round. It would be great. I've seen Anaheim win. I think I was in middle school. I was at my grandmother's watching the Anaheim Ducks win back in the early 2000s. I think it was like 2006, 2007. They won the Stanley Cup. I think it was against New Jersey. But I would like to see Edmonton Oilers. Connor McDavid, always a star. And then the Pittsburgh Penguins, I obviously want to go in the next round. And I don't understand how Nashville is on a roll right now. They got PK Subban, who's a great defenseman came from Montreal. I don't really hate. I'll be honest. I'm not hating on much of PK Subban because he's not a Canadian anymore. But I really want to. I hope St. Louis comes back because I like St. Louis more. But hey, that is my spiel. I don't know if you want to bring in any of. I know you're not. I know you don't follow. What bothers me is Chicago getting swept by Nashville.
That was I saw that and I was in total shock because. First of all, you don't expect that. Second of all, Chicago is,
talented team.
Talented. There's so much talent there.
They got Patrick Kane. They got Jonathan Taves. They got Coach Joe Quenneville. They got Corey Crawford. I don't know what's going on.
It's just a lapse in play. They just didn't step up, and I think they took them lightly, and then they just got swept.
Well, I told Mike Lombardi this. I said, hey, I did tell him that playoff hockey is different hockey. It's not like the regular season because once playoff hockey is in. Totally different. More overtimes. I think the overtime is tied in the first round with the most overtimes. It's more intense. It's crazy. It's not regular season, and I'm sure that's with the NBA too.
Yeah, same thing.
And it's just different. And Chicago did it last year too. I had Chicago going on the way last year. I don't know how I won in Quinny's bracket challenge, but I won by like 4 points. I had Pittsburgh going in the final round, I guess. But it's just it's different hockey, and I just don't get. I don't. And Chicago was up there throughout the season. I think they were ranked second or third place.
It's I don't get it. I looked at the Washington Capitals Pittsburgh Penguins record yesterday as far as the playoffs in the second round, and to be up 3-1, I was a little surprised. But then I sat back and I was like, dude, the Capitals choke every year. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like some type of just like DC culture around them. I know you like it.
I love it.
But I don't get it. Like, what? How is it possible that you guys choke every single year? What is wrong with you people?
It is great.
It doesn't make any sense.
It is awesome. It is a feel-good feeling. Because I can't stand that guy. I told you this millions and millions. List of people I cannot stand. LeBron James, Alex Ovechkin, Roger Goodell, and I just added to my list Sergio Garcia. I was so upset about that Masters tournament. I was disgusted. The reason why I hate him is because when I was at Deutsche Bank back in middle school, it was me and Mike. We were standing in line. We were in the autograph line. Comes by, signs everyone's autographs, skips over me and Mike, goes to my cousin Tones, gets his autograph, and I was just like, you know what? All right, we're on a bandwagon. We're hating on Sergio, and everyone's like, why do you hate on Sergio? I was just like, he didn't sign my hat. He didn't sign my hat back in 7th grade. List of people I hate. I don't know if you have a list of people you hate in the pro sports league. Pro sports. I'm sure Roger Goodell's on there.
I mean, Roger Goodell, of course, is on there. I mean, I hate on-court LeBron. Off-court LeBron is different. He's as a human being, but on-court LeBron is annoying as heck. I mean, I'm not entirely sure who else. I'm sure some of the NFL guys who throughout the season I'm just been like, oh, I don't like you. Eli Manning. Okay.
You don't like Eli Manning?
I hate Eli Manning.
Why is that?
Weasel.
He's a weasel.
He's a weasel. First of all, his helmet looks like it's about 10 sizes too big for him. Second of all, both those Super Bowls are fluky Super Bowls, okay? Those are 7 rings for Tom Brady. He got lucky as heck that people caught those, like, Hail Mary passes he threw. Lucky as heck.
I don't know much about Eli Manning to hate on him, but,
Can't stand the guy.
You can't stand Eli Manning?
Can't stand. I hate the Giants. Can't stand the guy.
Giants. I don't like the Giants either. I don't like the Giants or the Jets. But I don't mind. You know what's funny? I don't mind New York Knicks, New York Nets. I don't mind the New York Islanders. I'm not a Rangers fan. I don't like the Rangers. Brooklyn, I don't mind either. I don't know why. I don't mind the New York Mets either. I just don't like the Yankees. I don't know. But I don't know if I really... The only guy I really hate in the NFL is Roger Goodell. I don't know if I hate anyone else. Who else? Know who I'd love to come back is Johnny Football.
Oh my God! I thought he was working on a comeback. No.
I thought he was because he was like throwing footballs with Dave Portnoy, and I thought he was saying he was coming back or something.
Yeah,
and then Pat McAfee joins Barstool.
Oh my God! I know what is that? Oh, Pat McAfee.
I think he thought he was going downhill, and he was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna throw in the towel down and make some money off bars. He could have had another couple of millions, a couple more years, but hey,
you just stop wanting to play. I mean, that's all it is.
I think he's a goof, anyways. I think he's ridiculous. I've listened to his podcast. I think he's kind of a crazy dude in general.
All right, what else we got on here?
We got the NFL draft.
All right.
I don't know if you want to get into that right away. But let's get into it. I watched a little bit. I think I watched Thursday night. What I was surprised was Cleveland didn't pick a quarterback.
So, all right, I'm gonna get into this. So I was working Thursday night, but me and some guys at work were following the draft. And first of all, Cleveland, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
Oh my God. Okay, so you pick Myles Garrett. Fine, great. You needed a defensive back, defensive end, whatever. Good for you. You don't address your quarterback situation. You're going to pick Mitchell Trubisky, which bears, by the way, what? Listen, Deshaun Watson is sitting there, and you're not going to take him?
He lasted, was it?
12th pick.
12th round.
12th pick. Dude,
first round.
Deshaun Watson was my favorite player in this whole draft. The dude knows how to win football games.
Clemson, baby.
Two national
baby.
2 national title games, 1 national title win, clutch.
Clemson.
Unbelievable quarterback.
He was undefeated last season, and then like choked in the championship because Alabama's so good.
Like,
They're so good.
Alabama's the closest thing to an NFL defense, and I think he shredded them for like 500 yards in the championship game.
I was so nervous at that game. I was so nervous.
That was such a good game,
I was
though.
so nervous watching that game down here as we speak. I was like, oh man. I was so pumped. I got one of those championship shirts. I had to.
It was great football, but the pick, I think Deshaun Watson is going to work on his mechanics and be really good for Houston, which kind of scares me because they're in our conference and they already have a really good defense.
So I wonder if he's gonna start.
I mean, who do you start and who are you going to start? I don't
know.
I think you have to. I think you just have to throw the kid into the fire and be like, work out your mistakes.
We'll
go for it.
We'll see what happens when training camp comes along. We got a long way. We can do a couple of podcasts before training camp.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely want to do a one where we get the fantasy football draft going.
Oh, that's a good.
That'd be prime.
But real quick, let's hit on the Patriots picks. Derek Rivers, Youngstown State defensive end. Antonio Garcia, Troy offensive tackle. Dietrich Wise Jr., Arkansas defensive end. Is it McDermott?
I think it's McDermott, yeah.
Connor McDermott, UCLA.
Dermott.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Offensive line. All right. Derek Rivers, from what I heard, steal, defensive end, needed one. Great work. Antonio Garcia, offensive tackle. They filled needs. Dietrich Wise Jr., also very good as far as his defensive end skills. Connor McDermott, you needed guys to protect Tom Brady. You needed guys to rush the passer.
One of these guys was very excited to meet Tom Brady.
I think it's Dietrich Wise Jr. was like, oh my God, I'm such a fangirl. I'm so Tom Brady. But it's Tom Brady, man. I'd be excited too. Like that's great. You get to play with him.
Yeah.
That's insane.
That is awesome. That is like a dream come true. That.
I mean, think about it. You grow up watching him, and he's still playing at a high level.
You go like, dude, I've been watching you since I was like 10 years old. You're not watching football when you're 5.
No, I mean, it's crazy. But they filled a lot of needs, and in this system, they're gonna develop great. I think that they're gonna be really, really good for this team. The Patriots are gonna be so much fun this year. I'm so here for it.
They're always fun to watch. I'm excited.
Always.
I'm excited for Sundays.
He has a deep threat in Brandon Cooks now. Tom Brady does. And last time he had a deep threat was Randy Moss, 2007.
Cue the boats already, guys.
Let's go.
Cue the duck
Let's
boats.
go.
Cue the duck boats.
I've heard Malcolm Butler is talking extension with the Pats. You just signed Stephon Gilmore. Devin McCourty's locked up. I mean, it's all in for Tom Brady. He's going to be 40 in July.
He's not ready. He's no way, man. Not even close to being retired.
He told Giselle, I'm having the most fun ever right now. Because he's just shredding people.
He is.
He's not learning the game anymore. He's just like, I know what you're going to do, so I'm just going to do this instead.
Know who I thought had a year and then got injured right before that game, the Texas game was Oakland Raiders quarterback.
Derek Carr.
Derek Carr, yeah. He had a great year.
He had such a good year, and I felt honestly really bad for him.
I had him in my fantasy.
Terrible. Absolutely. Like, you never want to see that,
Absolutely not,
Oakland's going to be good. As far as their move to Las Vegas, it's weird. Still don't understand, how they're going to control, with the gambling and drinking and everything.
No, it's funny. I haven't heard much complaints moving to Las Vegas for them, but San Diego moving to LA, that was crazy.
I have heard a lot of complaints for the Oakland people. I have.
You have?
I have.
I'll be honest, I don't get the football network, so I don't know much.
I mean, I don't really watch. It's mostly Twitter. You hear a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Fox Sports 1, great, articles on that site. But, I mean, the San Diego thing, they wouldn't give them a new stadium, so they're like, we're going to move to LA. LA has a team in the Rams. You're going to... I just don't understand why LA... And I understand LA is a huge city. You need 2 teams? You need 2 basketball teams. Clippers need to leave, go somewhere else. You need 2 football teams. You need 2 this, 2 that. Have one team, have your city back that team, and I feel like it's just, the players feel better because it's them,
Yeah.
This is their team, their city. You don't have to share it with anybody.
No, and I think that's kind of on call. I think that's a little much. I'm so surprised that Las Vegas is getting teams now. They got the hockey team now that's starting up soon. They got Raiders. They got the Raiders now, and it's just
You're probably gonna see baseball there at some point.
could see baseball there, but what my thing was about Las Vegas is it's one of those bachelorette towns. You go there to gamble. You go there to the clubs. You go there to have a good time. But this makes betting. This increases the betting world.
Yeah.
You don't just have the casinos. You have the games. You have all that. And it's I guess it's good for Las Vegas. I guess
It is. I think we forget that people actually live in Nevada.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
don't
I
those
do.
people deserve sports teams?
I do remember. No, it's funny. I've been watching this show. It's kind of a documentary. The creators of Friday Night Lights, the TV show. It's called Beyond the Lights, QB1, and they follow these like 4 quarterbacks. And one of them is located in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I forget the town. And I remember, like, taking a glimpse at the game. They showed them on ESPN. I guess in the beginning of the high school season, some of the the top schools, like football schools, feature on ESPN. And it was I remember watching it. This kid Tate Martell is from Las Vegas, Nevada. I'm sure you'll hear from him. I think he made a verbal commitment to Ohio State. But it was very interesting. Yeah, and I forget people actually are residents in Nevada, Las Vegas, Nevada, because the rest of it is just like a desert. It's literally nothing there. But it was pretty interesting. I don't know if you want to check it out. It's called
Beyond the Lights. Right?
Beyond the Lights QB1. It's really great.
I've heard of it for sure.
You have heard of it.
Yes, of course.
It's been on Facebook. It's been on social media. It's great. It's different. It's kind of like a documentary, kind of, but it's really interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I'll definitely check that out.
I always enjoy seeing kids making it big, going to the road. Like I said, like Deshaun Watson coming to the NFL. It's interesting. It's great.
Everyone likes a good success story, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the NBA has a ton of them. Every sport does. You're gonna, as the NBA draft rolls around, you're gonna see a lot of success stories. A lot of kids who are gonna be drafted and what their stories are and where they come from.
Like Charlie McAvoy is a great success story too. I'm just saying.
He's got to throw his name in there.
Yeah, gotta throw his name, Chubby Charlie.
I mean, you've got NBA-wise. There's Markelle Fultz, who is, I've taken a liking to the kid. His personality is, humble and very, I'm ready to work. I will never call Lonzo Ball a success story. I'm adding LeVar Ball to my list of people I don't like.
There you go.
Clown.
I love that you're adding people to your list.
Absolute clown.
I love it.
Did you see their shoes they released yesterday?
No, what do they look like?
They look like trash and they cost $500. But we're talking about it, so he's got advertising nailed down.
You know what's funny? Part of my take mentioned some shoes that cost like so much money. I wonder if it's those. I wonder if it's them. Can you show me later?
I can show you later. Yeah, they're awful. They're the cheapest looking things, in my opinion. I don't know, like. They're just name of the brand, this big baller brand. Who buys something like that?
Yes, that's who part of my take was.
Awful.
Big Cat and PFT were talking about it.
It is literally the worst.
Really?
Literally, his father is the worst thing to happen ever. I hate that guy.
Is he the one that follows him around everywhere?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I hate parents like that.
Stop trying to live through your kids, man. Enough. You had your shot. It didn't work. Let them live their lives.
No, it's funny. Like, back in Little League, when I wasn't enjoying Little League baseball, and then I went to lacrosse, there are some parents out there that think their kids are going to be great.
I think every parent likes to believe their kids are going to be great, and which is fine. But you have to set limits on yourself. Like, stop trying to live through your kids. If they don't want to do something, don't make them do it. He got pushed away by 3 shoe companies in Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour because he wanted a partnership instead of whatever shoe companies signing his kid. Listen, bro, you need to understand how the big boys play ball. Okay? You need to understand this. I can tell you right now, if the Celtics draft your son, Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens are not going to be there for this stunt you're pulling. They're going to tell you to stop however you're meddling in team's business. They're going to tell you to stop real quick. They don't take that and they don't take it in this organization.
No, they don't. So, all right. I know you don't pay attention to the Red Sox. Do you watch the news at all?
Oh, well, yeah.
All right. So the Boston Red Sox are 15-13 right now. Only 1 month into the season. It's May right now. Red Sox open in April. I think they're starting their series with the Twins, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Minnesota.
The Minnesota Twins. The other night they were playing Baltimore. Some sort of racist thing was going on at Fenway Park. Did you hear about that story?
So,
shame on you, Boston fans. This should not be happening in the year of 2017. We should be over this right now. It's sad to see some racism still going on in our country, especially the United States. Martin Luther King had made a point that, everyone should be created equal. Everyone should be sitting where they want, doing whatever they want, getting any job they want. I can't. It sickens me what happened at Fenway the other night.
It's absolutely terrible, and it doesn't help Boston shake the label of racist city because it has that label. And I can tell you right now that, first of all, cut out this racist nonsense. Stop it right now. You're all ridiculous if you're going around saying stuff like that, acting like that, doing things like that. There's no place for it. There's no, I'm better than you because my skin is this. No, because it is absolutely ridiculous. And for someone to say that to a professional baseball player, or just to anybody, just because you're probably being an idiot at a baseball game, and because you think because you bought the ticket it gives you a right to say whatever you want, you do not deserve to step foot in any type of sports establishment ever again. That is shame on you. Shame on, however you were raised, because that's ridiculous. I don't tolerate it. I don't think there's any place for it.
No, and don't get me wrong, I love this city. I bleed black and gold. I bleed red and blue. I bleed green and white, green and black, green and white. I bleed blue and red again. I love this city. I love Red Sox. I love Celtics. I love Bruins. I love Patriots. But this should not be happening in any stadium in our city. This is uncalled for. You saw us a few years ago getting hit hard at Boston Marathon. This should not be happening. We should be created equal. We should be treating everyone with respect, no matter race, color, anything. Just cheer on your team and let the others be. Treat everyone with respect. This is disgusting that this happened at Fenway Park the other day. One of the oldest parks in the country.
It's the oldest baseball park in the country. It has to be, right?
One of the oldest. I don't know if Wrigley Field's the second oldest.
No, probably.
It's up there.
It's up there.
I know it's up there.
I mean, I think it just breaks down to there's just no, in the United States, you just can't tolerate it. And I know, unfortunately,
not, no.
Absolutely not. And, there are Boston fans who are like, well, I'm sick of people, like, labeling our whole city as racist. Well, maybe instead of trying to defend the city of Boston, and I love the city of Boston, we need to do a better job of teaching people not to do these things. These things aren't right.
It shouldn't be taught. You should just know. You should just know by now.
You should know by now, but unfortunately there are a lot of idiots still out there.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, no, of course. And, athletes shouldn't have to, fear, their names being called. LeBron addressed it the other day. He addressed it in a very classy way. And he goes, whenever I've played in Boston, I've never dealt with that. So clearly it's not a Boston thing. There are idiots in every city who do these things, and it's not okay. And every league should take more of a harder stance against it, because it's something that we need to weed out, and we need to start weeding out now.
Oh, I totally agree with you. So yeah, that happened. What was it? Like Monday or Tuesday
It's been a
night.
wild week at Fenway.
It was a wild week. Hopefully it gets better. Red Sox get better in general. I would like to go to a game this season. I didn't go last year. I missed Fenway Park. I did go to a Bruins game this year. It's been years since I went to the Celtics, so I want to catch up on that too. New England is kind of expensive. I wouldn't mind going to an early season game, but that would be
Preseason.
Preseason, yeah, exactly. Preseason game, that would be great. Or even just
It gets cold so fast, man.
training camp, or at least.
Training camp is good. You can go during the season, expensive, and it gets cold so fast. It's
So,
just like,
so I went my first Patriots game. My roommate Connor Mahoney, you've met. He got Patriots tickets for his birthday, and his birthday was in October. This is like my first, like, not my super senior year, my regular senior year at Bridgewater State. We were living together, and so what happened was we were all of my suite mates and Connor. We were all like, so Connor, who are you gonna take to the game? Who are you gonna take to the game? So he goes, I haven't decided yet. So we kept bothering him all week. He goes, I'm gonna pick a name out of a hat. So write your name down, put it in the hat, and so I got lucky enough to go to the game. Talar, it was freezing. It was like the week. It was like the Sunday night before Thanksgiving week, and it was freezing. Connor had like a Carhartt, like work suit. I had like maybe 10 layers on. It was freezing, and we go to Dunkin' Donuts to get like food like before the game starts. He gets like a ice cream thing. Then when they had the ice cream things back there, I'm like, what are you doing, bro? He goes, what? I was like, oh my god, you're such a clown. And then like, I could have a beer back then, so I was having a beer, and like my beer was frozen. I was like, God, my beer's. And know what's funny? I don't know if you've been. Their Bud Lights were in plastic bottles. I don't know if you ever noticed that at a concert or anything. I think
metal.
It was
those like metal bottles.
Oh, the aluminum bottles.
Yeah, the aluminum bottles.
They had literally It looks like a glass bottle, but it was plastic. I was like, what the hell?
I think I've seen those. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think it saves money. I guess. Maybe.
Yeah,
like,
they
just
give
'cause
you
the material's cheaper.
They give you water bottles at Gillette, and they take the cap off for you, so you can't throw them at people.
Oh, really?
I went to a Taylor Swift concert, and they were like, I can't give you the cap. I'm like, all right, let me just spill my water everywhere.
Speaking of Taylor Swift, so you Taylor Swift fans out there, I heard on the radio today that Taylor Swift is in the process of making her new album. I am so excited. Talar is so excited. I cannot wait. Taylor, I better be going to a concert of Taylor Swift next summer, hopefully.
Get some Taylor Swift tickets, Danny.
I got the Taylor Swift calendar upstairs. Big Taylor Swift. Grew on Taylor Swift. I didn't like her at first, but she's growing on me, and I'm very excited can't wait to get her. You predict her new album coming out December 13th?
December 13th on her birthday. I'm going to predict it's coming out. I heard it's going to come out on Christmas. That's my prediction. See if it holds true.
Come out on Christmas? I think it's going to come out before Christmas. So it could be like part of a present.
Yeah, I think they said it's going to come out around Christmas. And her birthday is the 13th of December, so it makes perfect sense to release it on her birthday.
Oh, I cannot wait.
I mean,
I'm sick of the same old music.
No, man, she did this awesome thing at her last concert where she just turned one of her songs into like a rock song, and she just went unbelievable.
She switched over. She went from country to pop real fast.
And seamless transition. She did a great job.
Oh no, I love her. And she has a place in Rhode Island, I believe.
She still have that, or she sell it?
I think she still has. I think it's just like a home away from home type of thing. She's from Rhode Island, I think, right? I don't know.
I grew up in like Nashville, I think.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know.
Whatever. We're excited.
I know. Who's that other pop singer? That's from like Nantucket.
Meghan Trainor.
She sings the bass song.
Yeah, Meghan Trainor. Yeah.
Yeah, she's from Nantucket, I think. But yeah, I'm very excited. I hope you're excited. But let's start. Let's get some NBA predictions. We'll also get some Stanley Cup predictions.
For sure.
We'll start with you. Take it away. It's only the second round, I know that, but just
Second round predictions or like title predictions?
let's go with title predictions.
Title
We'll come
predictions?
back, but let's just see what you got so far.
All right. Celtics get to the conference finals against the Cavaliers. Cavaliers win. Spurs get to the conference finals against the Warriors. Warriors win. Cavaliers, Golden State. Golden State wins the title. NHL, I'm going to go with... let's see. Who do we got? I think Pittsburgh's going to win their series against Washington, much to your delight. Who else we got? So I think it's going to be Pittsburgh and the Rangers. And I think the Rangers win. I haven't watched much hockey. I don't really know.
That's fine. Just predict away.
Predict away. And
predict away.
I'm going to go with Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers, because who doesn't like a good little story like that? And versus Nashville, and I think Nashville is so hot they're going to win that. And as far as who wins the cup, I guess the Penguins, you can't bet against your current title holders
Mike
right
Sullivan's
now.
a great coach. I will say that. Mike Sullivan got hired last year in the middle of the season, led these guys for the Stanley Cup playoffs, and they got the job done, like I said. So, was it my turn?
Yeah, real quick, I think I actually said the Rangers beat the Penguins. So I'm going to go with the Rangers winning. But if what's his name is fine, Crosby's fine, then they win. I just don't know what the status is.
Hopefully he's fine. I hope it's not too serious. Crosby is a great, talented guy. So let's go with. So I'll start off with the NBA. Let me go over the series real quick. I do have it. So Celtics series is tied right now. I do think the Celtics go into the next round. I just think they had a fluke last night. Celtics win, beat the Wizards, and then who I believe the Celtics beat the so the Celtics play the whoever wins the Cavs and Toronto series. So I do think Cleveland's going into the next round. They're leading the series 2-0, and so I think the Celtics will have to play the Cavs. I don't want to say this, but it's disgusting. If the Celtics can stay focused, I do think they have a chance and kick LeBron James out of the series. For Houston and San Antonio Spurs, I would love to see the Spurs go into the next round. And then Golden State, who's Golden State playing?
Utah.
I think Golden State has this. I just think Golden State's one of those talented teams that you just can't get enough of. So Golden State going in the next round against
Spurs?
Golden State Spurs, and then Golden State's going to beat the Spurs. And I just think I really want to say the Celtics, but I don't know. But in the back of my head says it's going to be another Cleveland and Golden State series in the final two, and I think Golden State's going to take this home. So yeah, those are my predictions right now. Maybe they'll change going through the series. So Stanley Cup playoffs. So the second round of the Stanley Cup playoffs is going on right now. So Ottawa and New York are tied right now, but I think New York has this down. I do not want to see the Ottawa Senators moving on. Anaheim Ducks and Edmonton Oilers. Even though Edmonton Oilers are a young team, I just think they have the potential to do it. I would love to see an underdog story. That would be great. Connor McDavid, maybe get an MVP. That would be awesome. Love Connor McDavid, absolutely. And Nashville leads St. Louis. I will say, since Nashville's leading it 3-1 right now, I think Nashville is going to move on to the next round. And then Pittsburgh versus Washington. Obviously, Washington always chokes in the playoffs, so I think Pittsburgh's moving on. And then but for the final two, I'm not going to move to see who's winning. Oilers will play. What was it? will play. I think will play Nashville if they move on, and then Pittsburgh will play New York. So New York. So I believe Pittsburgh will beat New York, and then I think Edmonton will beat Nashville, and the final two. And I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh again, making another run. Mikey Sullivan, Sidney Crosby, Evan Malkin, Marc-Andre Fleury, and the who's the other goalie? Come
me.
on.
I knew his name earlier in the season. I forgot.
Those are my predictions. Also, I wanted to mention for you gamblers out there that this weekend is the what's it called? The horse race. What's Kentucky Derby?
Kentucky Derby.
The Kentucky Derby is this weekend. So check out the Kentucky Derby. Place your bets in. We got a lot of sports this weekend. We got golf's going on too. And next weekend's the Players. So tune in to the Players Championship. So we got the Kentucky Derby. We got the NBA playoffs. We got the Stanley Cup playoffs. We got Red Sox for you. So there's not enough sports to cover this weekend. There's so much sports going on. So we're about to wrap it up. Talar, it was a pleasure having you.
Absolute pleasure.
We're gonna continue this C.O.C. City of the Champions podcast. So do you have any final thoughts?
I hope the Celtics pull it out. Those are my final thoughts.
All right.
See it.
So I'm signing off. I'm your host, DannyBoyLax, and alongside with Talar, we are the C.O.C. City of the Champions podcast. And have a good evening, have a good day, have a beautiful weekend. Tune in next time to the C.O.C. City of the Champions podcast.
Being perfect is not about that scoreboard out there. It's not about winning. It's about you and your relationship to yourself and your family and your friends.